that was some crazy stuff. Like literally every time I wake up, there's something new going on with Blueface, man.
Yeah, she's on my phone to this day. I don't fuck with her though. She keep hitting me up trying to get back. Like, no, sober, baby.
Sober.
As soon as you start saying that probation, parole, felony shit.
Yeah, what's up with that? I don't like that. All the girls need to stop with that.
Yeah, I'm out of there with that.
Yeah,
you dealing with her. You already know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, no, you trying to keep Blueface free. Stop with all that.
Man, let me tell you something, because the second this clip hit my screen, I already knew we were about to dive into another episode of the never-ending Blueface and Amp, Chrisean Rock saga, a storyline that honestly feels longer than the Fast and Amp. Furious franchise. Every time you blink, every time you refresh your phone, every time you mind your business, boom, there they go again. A new fight, a new meltdown, a new argument, a new interview, a new accusation. In this time, Blueface talking about how Chrisean blowing up his phone, begging to come back, while he's sitting there saying he's done, he's finished, he ain't going back to prison for nobody. And he's tired of all that probation, parole, felony talk being thrown around like it's foreplay. The whole thing felt like deja vu mixed with a bad reality show script. Because here's the part that's really crazy. You can always tell when someone is trying to rewrite history in real time. Blueface sits there acting like he just woke up and discovered Chrisean was chaotic, unstable, dangerous to his freedom, unpredictable, volatile, inconsistent, and spiritually possessed by generational curse energy. Sir, you knew that from day one. She was breaking into your house the same week she met you. She was fighting your mother and sister before your first mixtape even dropped. She was brawling in hallways before she even had eyebrows. She was dragging you across the internet before she even had a career. You built this monster. You fed it. You filmed it. You monetized it. You encouraged it. You were smiling the whole time. So to sit in that chair now, acting shocked, is the funniest part of it all. But let's get into what he actually said, because this is where the rant starts cooking. Blueface talking about, yeah, she's still on my phone to this day. I don't rock with her, though. She keeps hitting me trying to get back, but no. Soon as they start saying probation, parole, felony stuff, I'm out. And that's when I paused the video. Like, now hold on, because suddenly you care about freedom? Suddenly you care about consequences? Suddenly you care about the law? Suddenly you don't want to go back to jail? Sir, you've been dancing around the penitentiary line like a jump rope champion. You've been on IG Live with open cases like it's casual. You've been antagonizing the justice system for years like you got immunity. But now you want to act smart because Rock scared you? Please. And let's talk about that freedom comment, because this is where it gets deep. Blueface said the second a woman throws around words like parole, probation, or felony, he's done, he's out, he's not dealing with it. That would make sense for a regular man. A man who actually values peace, a man who actually values stability, a man who actually values staying out of prison. But we're talking about Blueface, the same guy who flashed weapons on camera, got in brawls in the street, fought his own baby mama in front of a child, and got arrested multiple times. But now suddenly Chrisean is the threat? No, sir. You and her are both the threat. Y'all been each other's downfall since the beginning. Y'all relationship was built at the bottom of the ocean with no oxygen. Ain't no good coming from that. But here's where I really started hollering, when Blueface said she's begging to come back. Blueface loves to pretend like he's the one with all the control, like he's the one making the decisions, like he's the one rejecting her. But we've seen the footage. We've seen the screenshots, we've seen the crying, we've seen the manipulation, we've seen the back and forth. We've seen both of them chase each other in circles like two birds trapped in a window. This man acting like he don't fall right back into the mess every other month. Every time he says he's done, next thing you know, they're in a club together, fighting again, kissing again, crying again, breaking something again, and acting like the world didn't just watch them go through an entire season of chaos. They are addicted to the dysfunction. The part that's even crazier is how the internet plays referee every single time. People cheering like, thank God he left her, acting like he just escaped a cult. Then the next comment saying, is she all y'all talk about? Then somebody else saying, he's not even talking about Rock, he's talking about Hazel E. And that right there is what makes this whole story feel like a comic book. We never know what's real. We never know who he's talking about. We never know who he's throwing shots at. And honestly, Blueface keeps so many bridges burning, you gotta use GPS to figure out which woman he's mad at on any given day. But the real part of this story is how he said she threatened his freedom. And let me tell you something. That is the number one reason men leave toxic relationships. Not cheating, not jealousy, not arguments, not disrespect. Threatening a man's freedom is the one thing that makes him instantly sober. Because once somebody starts talking about calling probation officers, violating parole, pressing charges, getting you locked up, exposing something to the courts, it's over. Because jail is not a joke. Men laugh, men cheat, men argue, men play games. But the second a woman threatens their freedom, that's when they realize everything isn't funny anymore. And you know Rock. She does not fight fair. She will use everything. Emotion, anger, manipulation, lies, pregnancy, crying, screaming, guilt, religion, violence, whatever she feels in the moment. She does not stop. She does not think. She does not reflect. She reacts. And Blueface knows that. He knew that. That's why he's scared now. Because what used to be fun became dangerous. But listen, this situation is sad. These two are trauma bonding in the public eye. They use each other for content, for attention, for validation. They are each other's addiction. Blueface gets ego, power, control, chaos, and a storyline. Chrisean gets love bombing, validation, identity, and emotional highs. They break each other and then rebuild each other just to break each other again. And the internet sits there with popcorn, watching it like a live circus. And let's be real, Blueface doesn't want peace. Peace is boring to him. He wants chaos he can escape from, not chaos that can legally destroy him. That's why the freedom threat hit different. He don't want prison. He just wants loud dysfunction with no consequences. Let me close this in the strongest way. Blueface and Chrisean are not done. Not truly, not emotionally, not spiritually. They are addicted to each other's madness. The relationship is dead, but the connection is alive. He's talking big now, but give it 2 months and we'll see another clip of them together somewhere, acting a fool. That's why none of these interviews matter, because until both of them get therapy, distance, sobriety, healing, self-awareness, and accountability, they're going to spin the block emotionally every time. This whole thing is sad, toxic, messy, destructive, and honestly exhausting. But the circus continues.